Hey, my name's Frost, and today I have top 10 tips for Knockout City players who have the intent to improve and reach Diamond as fast as possible. I believe Knockout City has a lot of potential. Heck, 5 million downloads is a lot, but still, I sit with my belief that as more players download and start playing Knockout City, the more ranks will become difficult as time goes on. These top 10 tips should help form your core skill in Knockout City from now and for the future. Number 1, dash at the enemy. During some games, I would be trying to catch up and get in the middle of a fight with no ball to defend myself. I found myself standing around watching my teammates get cracked by dodgeballs by the enemy, and I'd feel bad because I'm either waiting for them to pass me the ball or the enemy to throw one to me. I've learned that being in the fight with your team is vital at all times, and not having a ball should not hinder you in any way. By simply positioning yourself by or behind the enemy is important because the closer you are, the harder it is to dodge. So if you get a pass, easy point for your team. Or dash at them. Make it to where they are always under pressure because when they are hit, there is a delay of them not being able to catch the ball. Alright, second, knowing when to throw or when to catch. When you have 3 enemies with dodgeballs looking your way, you should not consider throwing your dodgeball. The more they throw, the more dodgeballs you have in your vicinity to use when they are empty-handed. So focus on catching and watch each and every one of the players. If you are missing one enemy and you fear of a sneak attack from one of them, turn your back on the enemy and run. This will cause them to chase and possibly draw out the flanker. Simply regroup with your team and stick with the team. If they launch all of their shots at you and you catch all the shots, focus one on who seems to be more focused because half the time they are too focused and will get them every time. Watch out for those who jump towards you as they are always ready and taunting you to throw it, which will be your demise, not theirs. Simply getting closer makes it hard to catch. Plus, if he catches a perfect catch, he has control over you because you will anticipate over and over due to how close he is to you. Next, knowing when to pass the ball. Knowing when to pass is super helpful to rack up points like crazy. Simply passing in a medium to close range ball will always scare the enemy because they have to look all around them to see who has the ball and who's going to throw it at them. Don't pass the ball if you are not close to your teammate and the enemy. Taking far shots at that are really bad for your team because if they catch it, that's going to be a point for the enemy that I threw my charge ball at because he is now closer to your teammate with a charge ball that could be purple charge twice, which is really fast medium range. And you screwed your teammate because you wanted to snipe everyone with a normal speed ball due to the distance. And your teammate was pushing them to shove to make it easier on you, or he was trying to get behind the enemy, which was where there was a dodgeball just sitting there and he was trying to get it before the enemy did. Now he's screwed because the enemy was already aware of his existence and yours because both of you are in front of him. So do not take far shots because 9 times out of 10, if your teammate's around, easy point for them. All right, 5, blind triple take. One of my favorite things to do is sneak attack people. It's always good to do it because when guys are passing and catching and throwing, they get so tunnel vision that you can run behind them and bop them on the head and they still won't even pay any attention to you. The reason I call it blind triple take is because if your team is aware of you pushing their flank, your team can pass you the ball. If you already have a ball and you're pushing their flank, you can bop one in the head, your teammate can pass you a ball, you bop another one, your teammate can pass you another ball and you bop another one. You're forcing a close range fight that you should win 75% of the time due to your surprise. And possibly luck if the enemy team isn't communicating with each other to say, hey, there's a guy on our flank. Watch out. It's easy KOs for you guys. All right. 6, when to be aggressive and when to be passive. Being aggressive means your team all have dodgeballs and pushing up to the enemy lines. And instead of throwing slow balls, your team can and should pass before throwing to get a purple charge and then throw when they are ready. Pushing up, if you have a purple charge ball, you can push up and the enemy will push back, but some might not be paying attention. Some might try to dash at you. Use this to your advantage. Dodge, jump, keep the ball in your hands. choose when to throw it. Don't always launch it because you are in control. If there's one that has a ball, don't focus on throwing at him. Focus on catching his. So once you catch his, it's a perfect catch, and you can launch it at another enemy who's not paying attention. Choosing when to be aggressive and choosing to be passive in the middle of a game is very important. Being one in the middle of a game normally is gonna always mean that you're gonna lose because you're gonna make mistakes if you continue to be aggressive, and you're gonna make mistakes if you continue to be passive, because being too passive and being too aggressive can be the downfall. Be passive when your team only has one person with the ball and the other two don't. One can be pushed up and trying to dash at the other people, but if the entire enemy team all have a ball, it's not good for your teammate to do that unless he's pushing a flank and they're not aware of him. Then he can dash at the enemy from behind, jump and catch the ball, and dink somebody else that's not paying attention. Just make sure you're not targeting the same person you once already targeted, because it's an easy, predictable fight when you're 1v1ing someone. All right, number 7. The sad truth about close fights. Unfortunately, there's always going to be a spot where the enemy can always throw the ball at you, and it still feels like the ball is instantaneous. As soon as he throws it, it's already hitting you, and you're bopped. You lose a point, you lose a heart, whatever. There is a length of when you dash, you're right up in front of the enemy, and he can just throw the ball at your face. As long as he's keeping a certain distance, he will always be able to have control over you. So my advice for dealing with this situation is to dash away. If this is a 3v3, it's better. You can dash away if he throws a ball at you. If you are aware of your surroundings and stuff, you will be able to turn around and catch the ball or dash at a different angle to make the ball miss. Dash away, get your distance, find the ball, get back in the fight and fight. It's the sad truth, and it's very difficult to handle, and I haven't seen anyone to give proper advice on this specific situation because everyone seems to want to do it in ones. I don't really play ones because I don't really agree with the fact that they're having a storm push you in, and you also have a time, and the storm takes away your heart. It allows for people to play more thoughtful than skillful. I could be the person who catches everything, but because he has the ball and because he's shoving me into the storm and he's holding the ball or throwing the balls out, and then he randomly gets like a curveball that hits me in the back from me dashing away from it, I can be really good, but he could still one-up me by just holding the ball. I don't really agree with ones. I'm not a fan of ones. I don't know about ones. Ones suck. All right, number 8. We're getting closer to the end. Number 8, learning to catch from behind. Go into the hideout, play the bot, go to the bot that passes you the ball. Instead of looking at him, look away from him. Look away from him and let him throw the ball at you. When the awareness symbol around your screen tenses red and there's spikes coming from wherever he's targeting you from, if it's more to the right, it's going to be bottom right. If it's more to the left, it's going to be bottom left whenever he's throwing it from behind. Take your time, turn around instantly, and take your time to see where the ball is coming from and listen. Okay? Once you get perfect catches on the red ones, pass it back to him, then turn around. He's going to throw a purple one. With purple, instantly turn around. The first purple shot will always be slow enough for you to take your time and look for it and catch it. Once you get used to that, amp it up. Next step. I got to the point where I can catch all of them, the max speed. I can turn left and right. I can hear it. I know exactly how it sounds. I know what to expect and when to turn around instantly and catch the ball. It's definitely something that you should keep in your arsenal, because when it comes from the other tips I told you about, run away from your enemy, turn your back on the enemy, you definitely want to have this skill in your pockets, because they will never expect you to just turn around and catch a perfect catch and launch it back at their foreheads. It's a good tactic. Number 9, using more lob shots. Using more lob shots is going to be the key to hitting those shots, those slow shots, those normal charge shots, no purple shots or anything like that. You can throw a purple ball directly at a person and they'll still get hit by it. But red slow balls, normal speed balls, most people, if not all people, can normally catch those without a problem. If you have the higher ground and you jump and lob shot the enemy that's on lower ground, 9 times out of 10, they're still going to miss it because they cannot see the ball. When the ball is coming down, they can't see it because the spikes on top of the screen is shooting downwards. So it covers it up. So they don't know when to catch the ball. Don't get me wrong, people can still catch it. It's still very difficult to catch, but people can catch it still. All right. Now we're at last but not least. We have number 10. Lob jump and jump a lot and jump like crazy. The reason why is because it's to combat 9. Tip number 9. People are going to be throwing lob shots all the time and you're not going to be able to see it. To combat that, jump and flip and gives you some more air time. You can see in the air. You can stay in the air a lot longer. So when they do throw it in the air, whenever they take their time and fake you out and stuff like that, and they finally launch it, you will already be in the air ready to catch a lob shot because it will curve and you'll still see the ball on your screen coming towards you. Depending on if they hit a jump pad or they have higher ground. If they have higher ground, it's still going to help you if you jump lob shot, but it's not going to help you a whole lot. But it will help you to see the ball a lot sooner and catch.